All right. And we're live. Walter, how's it going, man? How you doing? The YouTube emojis are so different to everything else. They're like a breed of their own. Luvion, how's it going, man? How you doing? Oh. So good. Oh. Bug, how's it going, man? Brief ravings, yeah. Well, it should be very brief. I think Easy should be ending in about 15 minutes, which is when I'm going to start reading. So you're good. E FL username, how's it going? Oh, I'm so cooked. Hey. Music's a little loud. Oh, sorry. I adjusted my audio settings a little bit because I know you guys were saying yesterday either it was a little choppy or it was a little this, it was a little that. So this should be better. Because I have the AC running right now, but from my understanding, you shouldn't be hearing it at all. And my voice, when it's cutting in and out, shouldn't feel like it's choppy. No, the choppy was just the sound. Oh. It was just that no one else had it? Oh. No, no, username. Dr. Z and a couple others were saying that when I had the noise cancellation on, it was, what was happening was, when I would end sentences, it would like abruptly cut off and stuff. And like when I would start it, it would take a brief second. So I think that should be mitigated now. And you guys also shouldn't be hearing the AC, which is fucking right beside me. Yeah, that, but not chopping. Oh, okay, fair. That's different. Okay, fair. Okay. Okay. I got something here. K-N-E. Fuck! Come on. Come on. How's your day scrolling through work? So fucking boring, Nagito. I finished work at 5. I didn't do anything until 4:30. 4:30, a client came and she was like, hey, I want to open a new checking account. And instinctually, I was like, you know, it's 4:30. I don't take appointments this late. And then I was like, dude, you're such a lazy piece of shit. You haven't done anything all day. Just help this lady. So I opened the account for her. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't do anything until 4:30, and I was out of the office by 5:10. You're the yeah, fuck you. Okay. Nitwit backside. Bro, am I crazy or is connections getting harder nowadays? Bustle. Racket. I'm thinking like busy area. Hubbub. Fuck. Caboose backside tail seat. Caboose, backside tail. Let's see. Hey, nice. What is this word? Derriere, a euphemistic term for one's buttocks.
Derriere.
Derriere, yes. Goated. But. Okay. Bat. Stick. Back. Racket. Mallet. Let's go! I'm taking a ball! I'm fucking goated! That was the most obvious one by far. Come on! How's it going, man? Long time no see. How you doing? Sorry, I got really excited about bat there. But whatever. Bouquet, hubbub. Bustle, hubbub. Veil, bouquet. Oh, this is true. Veil, bouquet, some kind of wedding stuff, some kind of party stuff. Bustle. Purple is easy? Or am I just dumb? Easy. Nitwit. Hubbub. What the fuck does train go with? Am I just dumb? By the way, I don't know what's happening with my fucking mouse occasionally becomes chopped. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like skipping places occasionally. It's irritating the fuck out of me. We'll definitely try to do my... Oh, I appreciate that, Humong. Backpack, bouquet, bustle, train, cookbook, hubbub, nitwit, veil. Shit! You know what? Rhyming compound words. This is a easy one? Are you nuts? Or maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. Romero, how's it going? Did you read the Lord of the Mysteries side novel? No, Luvian. I'm gonna read those later, man. I'm gonna read those later. It's obvious. You. By the way, just to confirm, because I've been saying it a couple of times. Back. Above knit. Okay, maybe. Have you? Because I've been saying it a couple of times. I'm just curious if you guys, if I'm just talking out of my ass. Can you guys hear the AC? Because it's like running full blast right now, blowing cold air up my ass. Faceack Frank, how's it going? Lexicon. No, perfect. Easy's talking, I don't know. Visit. Because reason. Reason, logic. Logic visit. Logic visit. Sound, how's it going, man? How you doing? Logic visit. Visit holiday? Fuck. Just finishing up work? Good lord, you work late, Sound. But that's awesome, man. Glad to have you here. Logic celebrate? I don't know how that would work. Logic think brain think. No, that doesn't work. Transmit. How? No. Visit. Okay, I'm thinking like visit holiday. Thanksgiving? Fuck. Visit. Arrive? Visit, arrive, arrive. Okay, arrive at like a logical understanding. Arrive at a conclusion. Conclusion. I don't normally work this late, but it's a 12-hour. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Christmas? Arrive, party? Easy stop? Oh, come. Party. Shit. Gift? Oh my... Bro, I'm just making this random web in the middle. Arrive logic, bro. Merlin, how's it going? Receive. Oh, we're cooking. Receive, Christmas, Thanksgiving, celebrate. Okay, logic, celebrate, birthday. Okay, logic, Thanksgiving party, logic party. Genius. Hold on, let me cook. Genius. Receive. Revelation. Bitch. Logic. Maths. By the way, can I say how fucking adorable it is to me that the people from the UK say maths, like plural. Like, bro, it's just math. It's like the concept of math. What the fuck? What is maths? Enlightenment? Jesus Christ, Nirvana is the next one you're gonna give me? Hold on. Let him cook? Eridus, let him cook. What? It doesn't connect to anything, but... Okay. Nightwalker, how's it going, man? Mathematics. Why is it mathematics plural? Lee, how's it going, man? How you doing? Yeah, I know Easy. That's why I scheduled it for this time, because I knew Easy was gonna... Gifted. Nice, Romero, nice. Sonny, how's it going, man? How you doing? Yeah, I know Easy just ended. That's why I scheduled stream for this time. I was supposed to go live a half an hour ago, but then I saw Easy was streaming, so I moved it back. Tomorrow's Friday, so I can... I was gonna say that I could just kind of not be sharp at work, but the truth is, I don't need to be sharp at work at all. I don't do anything, so I mean, I can do that every day. But okay, let's start reading. By the way, new background. How we looking? We got Dr. Z's favorite right behind me. This is, I don't know who. This is Adam. Amon is, of course, way the fuck over there. Keep him away from me. We have the God of Knowledge right over here, but keep this backstabbing bitch away from me, so you know I don't want him near me. Mon looks so goofy. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be that way. Now, you might be saying, hey, I have another backstabbing bitch right behind me. He was tricked into it. He's a little dumb, okay? He's a little slow. He's strong, but he's a little slow. Like you know, he's like a little giant. He's kind of dumb, but like, you know, you can use his strength. God of Knowledge and... No, this is the God of Knowledge and Wisdom. What the fuck? He's off to the side. I don't know who's behind me. I don't know who this guy is, though. Who's this guy? Sorry, it's hard to... Who's this guy? I don't like him. All those behind you are backstabbing except Adam? Shit. Fuck, you're kidding. Do I swap this then? Oh, maybe I... Hold on. Ah, that was not what I meant to do. Hold on. Okay. Okay, let's do this. This is better. Red is recommending a nice place to sleep on the streets. That's good. You know, I hope I never need it, but I mean, it's handy information to have, I guess. Medici will be provoking your ears also. It's fine. It's fine. I'm his hard counter. I'm not sure. The audio would be a little bit different from normal streams. I'm not sure, but it should sound good, I think. I'm sure you'll need it. Okay. 1120 Court Chaser. I'm sorry, do you mean Skirt Chaser? Haha. Sorry. One, your mom joke, and Medici will cook you. Shut up, Ramiro. No. Maybe this is just dying, because I don't know, like my fucking, what do you call it? My mouse is like skipping places. Like, back? Interesting. We're back? Interesting. I don't know why we blipped out there, but we did skip like 200 frames for some fucking reason. I don't know why, but we did. Yep. I'm gonna just keep an eye on that. It should be back now. Not telling me that I'm dropping any frames. If you're still lagging, just try refreshing it. Oh, Godzilla, thank you. If you're still lagging for some reason, just try refreshing it, because I'm not dropping any more frames, so it should be fine. I don't know why it dropped out for it dropped out for a 260 frames, 60 frames per second, so like 4 seconds. Interesting. Okay. Okay. The dark blue, boundless sea that embedded gently, that seemed to contain infinite life, was presented to its members as the City of Silver's expedition team. It was no longer a record written down in ancient books, nor was it a combination of the words spoken by the outsider. Although it was still very far away, it seemed like contact was possible. Antiona, watched in a daze, opened her mouth as though she wanted to say something, but all she could say was, "The sea." Oh my god, they got to, oh yes, this is where they left off. Amazing. Just as she finished speaking, a silver crack appeared on her forehead. The crack shot up rapidly, instantly splitting Antiona in two. Blood gushed out, splashing across Derek's face. Well, at least her final moments were like a really cool one, as opposed to everyone else in the City of Silver, but my god. Without a sound, more silvery white light shot out from her body, splitting into countless pieces. The revealing face, full of hope, was like a puzzle that had fallen to the ground. It was only at this moment that Colin reacted. He brandished his swords and slashed them diagonally outwards, as though he was dealing with invisible enemies. Clang, clang, clang. Clankers. Silver light flashed, and the sound of metal reverberating echoed. The light of dawn around Colin shattered. At this moment, the silver phantom behind Lovia had already taken a step forward and stabbed the blurry sword into the ground. As they surrounded the people of the City of Silver, the streaks of silver lightning appeared in different spots, trying their best to cut out the invisible barrier as though they were like insects struggling in amber. The dense, sometimes thick silver light constantly appeared, causing the defensive power of the expedition team to tremble, as though it would shatter at any moment. However, be it Colin, Lovia, or Derek, they couldn't find any traces of the enemy. Klein, above the grey fog, was just about to give a certain reminder when the chief of the council seemed to realize something and crossed his swords in front of him. The silver beam struck the two swords, causing Colin to sink to his causing Colin's feet to sink to the slab. He took this opportunity and roared, "Unshadowed domain!" Upon hearing the chief's reminder, Derek didn't hesitate and stabbed his finger on the thorn of the unshadowed crucifix. Grand Slam, actually, dude. That's the only weapon they have. It's ultra effective, don't get me wrong, not knocking it, but it's the only weapon they have. Upon hearing the chief's reminder, nope, already read that. As blood oozed out, pure, bright, blazing light exploded out, enveloping the entire area. There wasn't a single shadow in the area that could hide. Nothing could be hidden. A huge figure quickly outlined itself on the side of the giant's palace. It was wearing a full silver body armor and was nearly 5 meters tall. The flickering light behind the mask was either deep red or orange, and unmistakably there was a single vertical eye. A giant who was still alive. Okay. I know, Godzilla, I saw that too. I saw that. I was like, I immediately started looking it up and I was like, damn. You guys are getting lag. It's telling me. Have you guys I hate to say this, but have you refreshed stream? I hate to be that guy. Yeah, because it's normally, like, if it's lagging, it would give me some indication. Somewhere it would say, like, I'm dropping frames. Somewhere it would say something, but everywhere it says it's just fine. Unlike the other Silver Knights, the giant's bracer had bright patterns on it, and on the right was a blood red color that circled his arm, and at the same spot on the left, it was adorned with black spots. The knight raised his broadsword and pointed it at everyone, and he said, "How dare you barge into the king's court and disturb Lord Sasrir's slumber?" Please don't wake him up. I don't want to know what the Dark Angel gets up to, bro. Oh my god, please don't wake him up. Please don't wake him up. No. Sasrir? The Dark Angel Sasrir? Klein was alarmed above the grey fog. The former left hand of God. Ismail, I don't think I've seen you here before, man. Thanks for popping by. How you doing? The former left hand of God, the deputy of the Divine Kingdom, the leader of the King of Angels, one of the two leaders of the Rose Redemption. He hadn't disappeared into the river of history. He was sleeping in the Giant King's court? Why did he choose to enter a state of slumber? Klein then cast his gaze towards the palace that the knight was guarding, the tallest and most magnificent building of the court. The dusk's light seemed to transform into something corporeal that covered its surface. Dying it with a clear sense of decline, it gave off the sense that the sun had set and an eternal eventide was coming. Philip, how's it going, man? How you doing? Did you... What? What are you talking about, Ismail? On one side were steeples, while on the other were spires. The front door was a double door that opened outwards, with grey and blue as the main color. It exceeded 10 meters, and its height exceeded 10 meters, and it was covered with symbols. There's a pitch black socket on the left of the door at a height of 3 or 4 meters, equivalent to an adult's fist. 10 to 13? Oh, live screening. Oh, I see. Okay. Upon seeing the scene, Klein thought of the dream divination he had done in the past. Back then, he saw the same scene, and the medium he had used was the giant key he got from the Vice Admiral Iceberg. Is that the key to opening the Giant King's residence? As he extended his hand, he tried to use his true vision to pass through the obstruction of the building, to see the situation inside the palace. Live answer. Oh, wow. Okay. So wait, There's no way Klein gives that to Derek, because, bro, if Sasria comes alive, who the fuck knows? He might just kill everyone there. So is Klein gonna go in there himself later? The key? Unfortunately, he failed. The iron black key, which was the size of a 7-string guitar, landed in front of him. At this moment, Colin suddenly said, "You're a court chaser?" The giant sword didn't cleave down. Instead, he paused and said, "After all this time, to think there's someone who can still remember court chasers. I am the leader of the chasers, the light color, Morskogen, and I later followed Lord Sasrier." The light color, is that one of the is that like sequence 3 or 2 or something? Is that a title? Sorry, just opening up my notes. I apologize. Bro, I am not... Murskogen. That is how you would pronounce that. I'm sorry. You're wrong. I once hunted powerful dragons, elves, devils, demonic wolves, phoenixes. Today, you are honored to die by my blade. The light color didn't soften his attitude. He hunched his body slightly and held his sword with both hands. Like a flying meteor, he rushed towards the city of Silver, the people from the City of Silver with heavy footsteps. Due to the existence of the Unshadowed domain, he could no longer hide like before. Just as Colin and company determined that Murskogen's attack would arrive at any second, the giants stopped. Colin, who wasn't in Lovia's evil spirit's defensive circle, had a premonition of danger, and with no hesitation lunged to the side. A ray of light suddenly emerged from the spot where he had been standing, destroying all within. This attack is so strange, like it was generated by the void itself? At the same time, there was also a change in Colin, who had ducked to the ground. His clothes were burned. His clothes were torn into pieces, and the cloths by his side were and the cloth by his rapidly expanding muscles. In the blink of an eye, this demon hunter had turned into a grayish-blue giant with bluish-black lines warped around him. As his forehead was a deep black crack, every inch of him contained immense power. If a Beyonder under Sequence 4 saw this, they would suffer from a strong backlash. Their brains might suffer excruciating pain, causing them to lose their mind. Even their spirituality would be corrupted. And if they couldn't withstand such an influence, going crazy, losing control, or even sudden death were certain. An incomplete mythical creature form of a demigod. Originally, Colin didn't dare to release this form because of the influence of Twilight, but now, in the Unshadowed domain, that feeling of decline had weakened. He then raised his swords and enlarged them in size as well. He then, covered in the light of dawn, he fought fiercely with the light color Murskogen, in the domain that was enveloped in light. The three swords of the giants clashed and separated from time to time. Although Colin was at a disadvantage, he still managed to maintain a barrage of attacks. From time to time, he would feel a strong sense of danger and would duck or roll. At this moment, beams of light would appear from where he was. Romero, you're not going to believe it. I had the same thought, but then I didn't say it. Derek had already closed his eyes. Ignoring the loss of blood, he tried his best to maintain the Unshadowed domain. Haim and the other Dawn Paladins similarly didn't dare open their eyes. They helped Lovia slowly move the group towards the palace without exiting the domain. If not for the help of the silver-armored knight Evil Spirit, they would have long been diced into little pieces. That light color Murskogen alone had placed the City of Silver's expedition team into a precarious situation, as expected of the leader of the King's court chasers. This should be the strongest foe beneath subsidiary gods or angels. Compared to the Demon Hunter, the Silver Knight, who has several more terrifying powers. Klein carefully observed the battle, holding the Sea God scepter. He figured out the aspect that Murskagen was most powerful in. First, his defensive power can be transformed into a full-body silver armor set. Second, he can hide and conceal himself within the light, hiding any malicious intent. Third, the condensed Sword of Dawn can now be maintained for a longer amount of time. It can be used as a normal weapon, sufficiently sharp and good at cleansing. Are you playing? Wrong. Sunday. Fourth, it can create some kind of thin silver sword. It has the ability to teleport and can bypass Morse barriers to attack the target directly, and even cause it to erupt from within the target's body. This is a Saint who's extremely good at fighting head-on. So, Saint... If it wasn't for the rich experience and intuition of the chief, who had been in danger, he would have been in danger due to the suppression effect of being of the same pathway when in his mythical creature form. Saint is a description of all sequence theories? Oh, I see. If it, no, wait, Godzilla, isn't Saint 3 and 4? Yeah. If it were me, I might have already died. Of course, I wouldn't fight him head-on in the first place. In the current situation, because the evil spirit needs to protect its shepherd, there's no way for it to attack. The expedition team has no chance of winning, they're already retreating. If it doesn't work, perhaps Mr. Fool will have to deliver lightning punishment, but the true creator should also be watching. My lightning storm probably can't quickly resolve Murskagen. Then I guess we can read till... So, Wrongs, we're gonna do one more stream tomorrow. We're gonna skip Saturday because I'm not home. And then, we're gonna finish the volume Sunday. So what's probably gonna happen is tomorrow, I'll probably end at like 10:35, 10:36, something like that. And then Sunday, we do like 14, 15 chapters, finish the volume. How did Murskagen, who wasn't an angel, survive since the end of the Second Epoch? Apart from him possessing reason, and from him possessing reason as well as the abilities he displays in battle, he doesn't have the characteristics of other pathways in him. 121. Since Murskagen didn't gain his long lifespan from his characteristic, Klein could only begin examining other factors. The effects of a mystical item? No, there's no items on him. Aside from the Giant King's residence, there's nothing else in the area. However, that's the sleeping ground of Sasrier. Furthermore, the key is with me. Murskagen wouldn't dare enter. Who took the key to the Giant King's residence after Sasrier fell? Not too wicked? Of course, the palace without the powers of a deity augmenting it wouldn't be able to trap a king of angel. Or perhaps this key had long been transported to the northern continent due to the migration of the giants. Sasrier chose to sleep in the palace because other than a small number of existences, no one can affect his sleep? Edwina's key was given to me through a roundabout manner by the god of knowledge and wisdom. He wants to learn of Sasrier's state? Oh, dude, clever, clever. If it's not the effect of a mystical item, what could it be? Time given by an angel of the Marauder pathway? Ignoring the possibility of giving stolen illusory items, there needs to be an angel or grade 0 sealed artifact from the Marauder pathway, and there aren't many similar existences. Well, Amon was here, so maybe. Back then, Murskagen would have been given a lifespan of 1,000 years at once? Perhaps only Amon is capable of doing that, but he wouldn't help Sasrier. In addition, this blasphemer's true body seems to be wandering around the forsaken land of the gods. If there were angels or grade 0 artifacts there, They might have become his food a long time ago. So in that case, Romero, you're saying like sequence 7? Because like guns and like a sequence 7 I feel like are pretty equal. Like a magician would be able to kill, would be able to solo Harry Potter. But like I don't know if a clown can, you know? Sequence 5? 5 seems way too high order. Wait, is he saying this to solo Harry Potter? I feel like a 7 could do that. Maybe a 6 if you want to push it. If we're talking about the verse, that's a whole separate issue, of course. Cycle of Fate? After Murskogen's natural death, everything begins with him guarding Sasrier again? That might be possible. Oh, solo the verse. If the current Murskogen is in an age state, then it's completely understandable how so much time has passed. Furthermore, because the time in this loop seals centuries, it hasn't even reached a node yet. With this in mind, Klein observed the surroundings to find Ouroboros, but there was no remnant power like that. Klein quickly retracted his gaze and continued to observe Murskogen's intense battle. His spirit body threads are normal, eliminating the possibility of him being a marionette. This means that he isn't a figure summoned from history. The divine kingdom of the Giant King's court is slowing down the passing of time. The former can be eliminated because my spirituality is almost unable to support this observation. This matches the amount of time the exploration team has spent in there. There's a certain chance of the latter, with life progression in the sunset state, but not being solidified during the dusk. That is such a mindfuck. But the problem is that Ormir has already died, but Hale, who wields the power of Dawn, has brought the Divine Kingdom to the astral world. It's impossible for this Giant King's court to still have such a powerful influence. Klein had no choice but to consider another possibility, a secret art with a huge defect. This should be dependent on some kind of power from the court, otherwise the range of Murskogen's activities wouldn't be so tiny. It wouldn't take until the expedition team arrived before he took action. The entity related to life inside the Giant King's court clearly exists. Amibella, sorry. At this point, thoughts flashed through his mind as he cast his gaze at the statues outside the palace. They were no different from the ones the expedition team had encountered along the way. After careful inspection, he noticed a small number of abnormalities. These statues had the aura of life, and they possessed a certain amount of spirituality. However, behind the mask, it was pitch black without any dark red glow. Murskogen has used some kind of secret technique in the life domain to bind his spirit to the statues. Using them, he obtained a long life, but was limited to a tiny region. This is similar to how evil spirits exist. In that way, Murskogen might not be able to show his mythical creature form. When he received Klein conjured a gold coin and did a divination. When he received an affirmation, he held the sea god scepter high and reminded the little sun through a pair of light. At this moment, Colin, who had avoided Murskogen's first attack, ducked and rolled around him, heading straight for the residence from the side. His gaze was locked on those gigantic statues. In the intense battle, although the chief had always been at a disadvantage, he didn't give up observing his surroundings. I don't know if they can solo the Fate verse. That verse is crazy. The power of Gilgamesh is like insanity. I'm not saying like obviously gods, but like damn. Good night, Nagito. He was similarly puzzled as to why the leader of the court chaser could live for thousands of years. When he discovered the statues were standing aside the palace without participating, he reached a conclusion. He didn't experience what was going on, what principles underlaid it, or what domain it belonged to, but his rich experience told him they were the crux of the problem. With the two swords in hand, Colin dashed forward, taking large strides, but he didn't run straight, he zigzagged. Upon seeing the scene, Muskogee let out an angry roar and dashed forward. His reaction proved that Colin was right. Colin leapt away and did a roll, and above his original trajectory, silver light appeared out of thin air and exploded, forming a long snake. It completely lifted the solid ground of the court, tearing open a deep chasm. Clever. The loud thud, Muskogee took a step forward, and he smashed his silver broadsword into the ground. The area shook violently as the pillars snapped and fell into an orange cloud beneath. The ground beneath the two buildings exploded layer by layer. As for Colin, he had already leapt up ahead of time and was mid-air, and he created an invisible barrier that blocked the rubble. At this moment, Muskogee, who had his back bent his knee and exerted strength. His massive body shot out like a meteor, instantly closing the distance between him and Colin. During this process, the broadswords in his hand had moved upwards. Seeing that Colin was no longer able to dodge, a bright light shot over, hitting Muskogee's broadsword. With a loud clang, Colin tumbled to the ground and finally approached the statues. At the same time, he saw from the corner of his eye that the silver-armored knight in front of Lovia had long drawn out its sword. It condensed the light of dawn into a huge bow as it shot out arrows. Muskogee's single eye had been dyed with red. He didn't care about the arrows or the light. He let them hit his body. He kept charging forward towards Colin, preventing him from attacking those statues. Suddenly, an arrow that was gathered from lustrous brilliances shot past Muskogee and hit the gap of the visor of one of the statues. Oh, get fucked. That Carrion Knight. Oh, yes. That's a great one, Romero. Yeah. You're talking about the dual sword flame and freeze one, right, Romero? This was the evil spirit that Lovia had grazed. Colin was merely bait. One arrow after another flew past, but by this time they were all blocked by Muskogee. But at that moment, the demon hunter had already positioned himself well and aimed at the remaining statues and swung his sword that were enveloped by light. Light bloomed as the hurricane of light blanketed the area. With continuous crackling sounds, the statues collapsed to the ground. Right, yeah. With continuous crackling sounds, the statues collapsed to the ground, and so did Muskogee. This King's Court Chaser leader immediately retorted, "Let's die together!" The silver broadsword in his hand exploded into countless fragments of light, forming a terrifying storm. This knight, the silver-armored knight, evil spirit, and Colin simultaneously stabbed their swords into the ground, creating an invisible barrier. The dazzling white light swept beneath the two buildings, destroying the grayish-blue doors and the stone pillars behind Derek and company. After an unknown period of time, just as Derek thought that the barrier was about to be torn apart, the rays of light finally dimmed. In the ruins, the silver armor on the body of light color Muskogee slowly faded away. Not far away from him, Colin was covered in blood. He was transforming from a giant back to his normal state, but his aura was stable. It was just that he had weakened. With a clang, Muskogee genuflected as his body aged, decomposed, and evaporated. Under the orange light, he seemed to see the lovely King's Court once again. In the frozen dusk, giants came and went, playing the 7-string guitar or bone flute, watching everything from above. After that incident, none of that existed, so he chose to follow Sasrir. A smile appeared on Murskagen's face as he shouted, "King!" Murskagen bowed his head. His flesh and blood evaporated, leaving behind a huge white skeleton and a silvery white light that condensed together. Damn, let's go. We're fighting sequence 3s now and winning, baby. I'm just saying, okay? The fact that Amon and Adam haven't become gods yet, and Klein is like starting to approach that realm like at Mach fuck speed within a year, they should just consider giving their characteristics to someone else. They're not built for it. Above the grey fog, when Klein saw Murskagen rapidly age and decompose, he recalled Mobet, Syatus, Frunzir, and Snowman. He didn't have the time to stop it back then, and now was no different. This was because the leader of the King's Court Chaser had never chanted the fool's name, so he couldn't pull him above the grey fog. But compared to before, with the Sea God Scepter, he could do more. He immediately accommodated the Black Emperor card and activated the powers of the Grey Fog. He made the Paper Angel carry his own words and used the Crimson Star to enter the real world and land upon the remnant spirit of Murskagen. This was one of the methods that wouldn't lower his loftiness as the Fool. After all, the true creator was still watching. Bro, I love how even in front of a fucking... Even in front of a god, Klein is like, I mustn't lower myself. He must see me as an equal. I shall not talk to him until he gives me the respect I deserve. The speed at which his spirit body collapsed slowed down as he heard a loud and majestic voice. What is the advancement ritual and supplementary ingredients of the Silver Night Potion? Is Sasrir really sleeping in the palace of the Giant King? The advancement ritual of Silver Night comes from the Blasphemy Slate. It needs a complicated altar to be set up, placing the remains of 6 powerful creatures one had hunted in the correct positions and receive the blessings of a deity. The supplementary ingredients are... I can't be certain. In short, that door didn't open after Lord Sasrir ended. Amidst his response, Murskagen's spirit slowly but firmly dissipated. Finally, he could no longer hold on. As this conversation happened within the soul domain, no one else could hear it. The blessings of a deity? Would the Fool count? It has to, right? Otherwise it would lower Klein's standing so much. It'd be like, damn, you don't count as a true god? Thankfully, I'm careful enough not to let Murskagen say the main ingredient of the Silver Night Potion. Anyway, the characteristic can be used to replace whatever it is. Otherwise, I won't be able to hear the answer to the second question. A deity's blessing? Isn't this advancement ritual a little too difficult? It's only sequence 3. I have to consider the circumstances of his timeline. Murskagen is a powerhouse from the Second Epoch. It was a habit to call an angel a subsidiary god and include them in the ranks of gods, meaning the blessings of an angel should suffice. Oh, which means at the very least, by the time Derek needs this, he would be... Wait, no, Derek would need this. What am I on? What am I talking about? Sorry, ignore me. So by the time Klein would need to give this to someone, he'd already be an angel anyway, it's fine. I'll use a divination to confirm later. Of course, even an angel's blessings are hard. If I can't do anything for the time being, it'll depend on the artifact of the City of Silver and if they have any characteristics that can be communicated with. Yeah, Klein's not an angel. Yeah, okay. Maybe that won't work. The act of setting up an altar that one killed is a little complicated. Must the remains of the 6 powerful creatures that one has killed be at the demigod level? It's hard for demon hunters outside the land of the Forsaken Gods. How could there be so many demigod level creatures to kill? Most of them are protected by their organizations. From the looks of it, the Church of the God of Knowledge should have some substitute methods. Is this the difference between the first and the second blasphemy slate? But however, for a chief like the City of Silver, he must have killed plenty of monsters. That should be no problem. Just as he was currently certain that the second blasphemy slate appeared after ASG's death, he was able to determine that Murskagen was referring to the first blasphemy slate. He conjured a piece of parchment from his interpretation of the advancement ritual and ingredients, then did a divination with Topaz Pendant, to which a revelation was that there was no mistakes. Go to the church storm, insult Leodero, get a few demigods on you. You think he would send a few demigods? You think he wouldn't just smite you right then and there? You just go, damn, Leodero, your mom clearly didn't love you, what a dog shit name, and you just insta-die. He then threw this message to the sun. This is a gift from Mr. Fool. After doing all this, Klein laughed, feeling increasingly as though this answer to the second question was worth ruminating over. He didn't say if Sasra was asleep. He only said that it hadn't opened after he entered. God of Knowledge and Wisdom gave me that key, and Adam gave me the unshadowed crucifix. Was it done to open the door and confirm Sasra's condition? As his thoughts raced, he felt lucky. Fortunately, the true creator wasn't too interested. If this entity had sent down his will just now and tried to influence Murskagen's dissipating spirit, he would have clashed with the Fool's Paper Angel. That'd be awkward. Yeah, and you'd fucking lose. Only at that moment did Derek dare open his eyes. His face was pale from having lost so much blood. In order to maintain the unshadowed domain, he had allowed the cross to absorb a lot of his blood. He looked around and placed the crucifix in front of him, thanking Mr. Fool. Oh my god, the Chief's gonna be able to become a Sequence 3? Goated. Lovia should pray to the Lord right now? Why? For what purpose? By the time Murskagen's characteristic condensed, it was put away by Colin. Lovia then looked at the nearby palace with her eyes and said, Chief, the path to the sea might be hidden there. Perhaps there's another way inside to get to the other side of the sea. As Colin watched Derek, Haim, and the others clean up the battlefield, he shook his head. The Dark Angel is inside. He is a king of angels, one we cannot resist. Even facing him would be difficult. Let's head back and inform everyone that we have seen the sea and make preparations for entry into the Giant King's palace. Cool. But we don't know anything. We can't just make targeted preparations, Lovia said. When Lovia mentioned that she, wait, hold on. I have a suggestion. You, Derek, Haim, and the others head back. I'll stay behind and attempt to enter the palace to gain information, to confuse with the shadows and perhaps not disturb the Dark Angel. If I don't return, it means the danger has exceeded the limits we can handle. When Lovia mentioned she might die, her expression didn't change, as though she had long prepared for it. No, Colin said. We cannot bear such risks. If you awaken him, he may leave the Giant King's court and attack the City of Silver, and we cannot resist him. Derek, what's your opinion? My opinion? Everyone was shocked, because this was an internal conflict of the member of the Sixth Council, of the members of the six-member council, and Colin had asked for Derek's opinion. Could it be the chief is nurturing Derek as the next elder of the council? Hell yeah! This is him asking for my opinion? Klein frowned. What views can I have? If they were to open the door and awaken Sasria, I can't save them. All I can get them is to ask the help of the true creator. Let's wait until I figure out the situation about Sasria from Medici. I don't have to worry about the Dragon of Wisdom and Adam's thoughts for now. As his thoughts raced, Klein sternly said, "Return." He then projected this image to the star representing the sun. Derek was stunned before calmly answering the chief's question. "I think we should give up for now and return." "This is my decision," Colin nodded. "I will defer to your decision," Lovia said. She didn't say anything else as she helped Derek and company mark the area. Bitch. As Antiona wasn't killed by a blood relative, there was a high chance an anomaly would happen. Therefore, the team would mark the area, making the ones who would arrive later be more vigilant, but they didn't need to worry about such effects since they were so far from the City of Silver. Lovia looked up and said to Derek and Haim, "This is the Giant King's court. Perhaps there will be no anomalies." She didn't explain as she looked at Antiona's pile of flesh that had been burned into ash. She grabbed a handful of them and placed them in her bag. Bro, I don't know what's happening with the lag. I promise it's not from my side. Following that, under the lead of Chief, they retraced their path back. After entering the palace that had already lost its main door while having the oil painting band playing their tunes, Derek couldn't help but turn his head to look outside the broken railings again, towards the deep blue ocean. After staring at it for a few seconds, he retracted his gaze and realized that the chief's light blue eyes were also looking in that direction. Colin turned his head and said, "Let's go." Dude, can you imagine walking back with such great news? You're like, "Boys, we saw the fucking ocean! Oh my god! Let's go!" You know that thing in the books? We saw it! Like, imagine living in this world and never seeing the ocean. Or like, in my mind, that's the same as like living and never seeing the sun or the moon. Like, holy fuck. It feels so apocalyptic. They don't have all three. Exactly. Imagine, you don't have any of that. And you're just like, bro, what is even the point of you being alive? Above the grey fog, when Klein saw the team had begun embarking on their way back, Klein heaved a sigh of relief, exhausted. After 2 hours of observation, his spirituality was nearing its limit. Regardless, the things obtained from this expedition exceeded my expectations. It's only right to give the Silver Night Potion formula to the City of Silver. Being aware of these secrets is helpful to my digestion after my advancement. The problem now is that the Bizarro Sorcerer Potion hasn't been fully digested. From the feedback I've been getting over this time, it can be seen that all sorts of strange tales are indeed useful. When Miss Magician completes the script and publishes it, it just needs some time to build up momentum. Yeah, exactly. How many of them died again? 2, right, Sound? Antiona, and there was one before? Was there a third one? However, she just started writing a few days ago. I don't know when she'll finish. Why can't she write a few more every hour? When I went to pick her up, I should urge her. Klein recalled something. He hadn't given Anderson a reward for finding Tracy. I'll wait till he helps Danitz become a conspirer. Anyway, this is also part of the agreement. The advancement ritual of the Iron-Blooded Knight isn't difficult, but not simple either. I've never seen the ocean either? Really, Nightwalker? You're from... No. You're from India. India's not landlocked. Definitely not landlocked. It has the Indian Ocean. I guess you probably just live far from it, I guess. It's a big country, fair. Especially for a hunter, it's even more troublesome. It requires a hunter who's adept at provocation and enjoys coming up with ploys to build a team of at least 30 people. Momo, yes, you've been here for a while. By the way, thanks for coming. How you doing? It requires a hunter who's good at provocation and enjoys coming up with ploys to build a team of at least 30, and nurture a deep sense of friendship among them while making them strong. When they act as almost one, they'll set up the ritual. The greater the strength and camaraderie amongst the team, the better the effects of the ritual. Seeing that the expedition team was returning without any accidents, Klein finally felt relieved and returned home, falling asleep. After some rest, at the afternoon town camp, Derek finally recovered his face and he wasn't as pale. Bro, they're all gotta be pale as fuck. They've never seen the sun ever. In 1,000 years, no one has seen the sun. These guys are all pale. They might be paler than fucking Emlyn. Yeah, Klein was watching Kai Cenat going through Elden Ring. He had just eaten some bread from the black-faced grass powder when a figure came out of the shadows and said, "Derek, the chief is looking for you." "Yes, thank you." The chief, Derek stood up and went to find the chief. He was prepared to hand the chief the Silver Knight formula. After watching the messenger retreat to his shadows, he walked out of the room and arrived at the clearing where the bonfire was. Halfway username? Wow. At a glance, Derek saw many members who hadn't participated in the gathering in groups of 2 or 3. They were excitedly discussing things. They already knew that one could see the sea from the Giant King's court. They knew it wasn't far from the coast, and as long as they found a path, they would arrive in no time. This was an important step for the City of Silver to save themselves. The residents of the City of Silver, who mainly had the power of dawn, finally saw the light of dawn. Their persistence had finally paid off. Derek could understand the feelings of his team because he was the same. However, from Gehrman, he knew that the waters of the ruins of the Battlefield of Gods weren't simple. To head to the other side of the sea would be impossibly difficult. Ignoring everything, just Sasrir sleeping in the palace was a problem that couldn't be overcome. I can only hope that Mr. Fu will bless me. For that boy to appear, it means that there are other paths that can bypass the Giant King's court and reach the sea, Derek thought as he walked to the chief's room. He saw a person sitting there. A man in his 20s, much taller than Derek. He had a pale gold bracelet with 3 small bells hanging on it as he looked with his pupils unfocused. The husband of Antiona, Dolores. Aw, sorry buddy. In the City of Silver, before the age of 18, one could date freely until they were married. If one didn't have a partner by the age of 15, they would be arranged, by the age of 18, sorry, they would be arranged to have one. The same for widows and widowers after 3 years. They're like, boys, have you seen our fucking population numbers? Pfft, yeah, no one's dying a bachelor here. This was a necessary measure to ensure the population level. It seemed like it was against human rights, but for the continuation of the city, it could only be done this way. As for Dolores and Antiona, they were neighbors who lived on the same street. Tina, fuck you. They had long known each other since they were young. And in the end, they started dating as they were teammates and became husband and wife, having a deep, loving relationship. In light of how they had a young child, Colin deliberately left one of them behind. Aww. It's 15, 16, 30. Yeah, Derek is on that upwards trend, boys. On one hand, Derek felt there was nothing wrong with the chief's arrangement, and on the other, he felt a huge sense of sorrow for the way Dolores acted. From the beginning of the expedition, it only took half a day, but to Dolores, everything had changed. At that moment, he thought of a rumor. Lovia once had a husband but died in an expedition. It was common to begin with and wasn't worth discussing. However, other than Lovia, the team that explored the ruins of the temples had all gone mad. After they were eradicated, there were rumors that gradually spread among the residents of the City of Silver. During that expedition, Lovia had eaten her husband. See, Ramiro, this is why no one likes the true creator. It's because you people do weird bullshit like this. God damn it. Why can't you be fucking normal? Oh my god. In the night, with low lightning frequency, the winds were rather cold. Derek shivered and turned his attention to the scene before him. He knocked at the chief's door. "Come in," Colin said. Derek pushed open the door and entered. He saw the chief wiping his swords. Colin didn't stop and raised his head. "What are your thoughts on the expedition?" Why is he asking me? There might be other paths to the seaside. The palace of the Giant King should be very important, but it's too dangerous. We need more info. The kings of angels and the other existences who call themselves deities secretly plotted together because they wanted to resist the Lord? And their success caused this land to be forsaken? That should be the case. Those who participated in the conspiracy are still active on the other side of the sea? Mostly, but not too active. Chief, I obtained the incomplete formula of the Silver Knight formula potion, including the supplementary ingredients and the advancement ritual. When he said this, Derek knew that his lie sounded overly fake and could be seen through right away. But he couldn't think of a better excuse. If the Hangman were here, he would definitely have a better solution. Very good. What is it? The chief said. Derek was stunned before he recounted the ritual and the ingredients. You have contributed greatly this time. This is extremely important to the City of Silver. In the future, our limit will be sequence 3, not 4. Up to a certain range, the risks of expeditions will be greatly reduced. How will the risk encountered by the teams be reduced? Derek thought, but he couldn't understand the chief's words. I don't understand either. He then bade farewell and opened the door. Derek, Colin called out to him. Be careful of Lovia. Yes, Your Excellency. See? Even my boy Geralt knows. Backland, Northborough. Hazel took a carriage back to the city from Moose Manor as she was preparing to meet Miss Audrey at the Bursary Foundation. After many interactions, she had a good impression of this noble lady. She didn't feel pressured when beside her, and strange emotions that were accumulated in her heart mostly dissipated. I should have a teacher. What happened that day? Every time I think about it, I tremble. Hazel felt a little depressed. Your carriage. MX, how's it going, man? How you doing? At this moment, a person dressed in clothes of a mailman rode his bicycle horizontally across the carriage. Hazel casually sized him up and saw a monocle on his right eye. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Oh, Audrey, get out of there! It's a trap! Oh. Oh, Audrey, get out of there. It's a trap. Audrey, no. A monocle. Oh, a monocle was mentioned. Yes, 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 you're right. A monocle. I'm gonna try to keep it on for the whole chapter, but this hurts my eye. This hurts my ear, nose. Fucking, it hurts my everything, dude. This shit just sucks. But it looks cool. So, that is the sacrifice we make. Hazel's gaze froze as she felt something expanding in her mind. She instinctively looked away and curled up, and she felt a ray of light shoot out from the depths of her heart, exploding into countless memory fragments. She suddenly remembered what happened at home that night. She recalled her mother, father, maid, servants wearing monocles, the indescribable horror. The expression on Hazel's face crumbled as she curled into a ball, trembling. The maidservant in the carriage was stunned as she reached out in an attempt to help. No, Hazel trembled. The maidservant was shocked and frightened. She stood rooted to the ground. After shouting, Hazel calmed down, sat back up, and looked ahead in fear. She saw the monocled postman enter another street, leaving only his back visible. I wasn't feeling well just now. Feeling much better. She realized that she wasn't as afraid as she remembered. It was as if she had gotten used to the situation after some time. If not, I might have lost control just now. Thankfully, I forgot those memories and I didn't do anything eye-catching. It took me 10 seconds to break down. If not, he might have seen me. Miss, do you need to go to the clinic? The maidservant said. No. Let's go to the Bursary Foundation first. There's a clinic nearby. Okay, the maidservant instructed. Hazel kept taking deep breaths to regulate her emotions and panic. It had to be said that it was somewhat effective. She seemed to have calmed down instead of breaking down. At that moment, a sparrow landed above the carriage at some point, squeezed its right eye, and spat out with human language with almost no sound. She seems to have some unnecessary misunderstandings around me. It looks like I had some interactions with her before. She's a resident of Buckland Street. Interesting. Before long, the carriage arrived at Phelps Street. Seeing the Bursary Foundation, Hazel suddenly said to the cathedral, "Turn to the St. Samuel Cathedral first. I want to pray." I love how Amon can see through, because they're both sequence 1. He's like, I've met her before, but it's been deleted. Snake of Fate, maybe? She wanted to tell the bishops what she saw. In the gaps of the carriage, a black ant moved its feeler on its right and whispered. Humans nowadays are really lacking in creativity. They go to cathedrals at the first sight of problems. I thought I would discover something if I followed her. Next time I'll steal the cathedral in front of them. What? What does he mean, I'll steal the cathedral? What does that mean? Hazel immediately forgot what she had just said. She forgot that she had met a postman with a monocle. She got off the carriage and entered the Bursary Foundation and headed inside. Clearly, her maidservant and driver didn't remember either. In the Bursary Foundation, Audrey welcomed Hazel and brought her new friends to the activities needed by the injured soldiers. Oh. As Gehrman had mentioned that the leader of the Secret Order, Zaratul, and other angels were in Backland, Audrey gave up on the third stage of treatment for Hazel. Samo! What? Samo! Holy shit! Thank you so much! Yo, Samo! Thank you! Thank you so much! Holy shit, thank you, dude! Oh my god! Argo! Samo! Hello! That's one hell of a way to say hello, man. How you doing? Thank you so much, Samu. How's your day going, man? Bullseye got it? And username got it. The one person who doesn't even fucking want it. What an entrance, I know. This guy's doing Amon level entrances. What the fuck? Username got it. The one guy who doesn't even want it. Fuck him. Jeez. Oh man, I wish I could take it from username and give it to someone else. It doesn't let me do that though. Username is my turn. Sam only does it to make username maximally miserable. I don't think Queen is here right now, Sound. I know, I don't think she's here. Seriously, holy shit, thank you so much. Better entrance than Amon, what the fuck? Nah, I just woke up to take a... You have a good night, Miss Samo. Thank you so again, seriously, thank you so much, dude. Oh, you have a good night, man. Oh, that's awesome. Wait, username. Really? It's fine. No, it's fine. I'm not even gonna try to explain it. Fuck it, it's fine. Her current plan was to busy herself with charity work, helping others, to make Hazel to gradually brighten up and strengthen her ability to withstand the psychological trauma. In the Pirate's Feast... Okay. If you're looking for like complete homogeneity, I'm sorry, you're 1984. You're Big Brother. If you're looking for someone like, hey, like if someone does anything that I dislike, then immediately, like, oh, it's unacceptable, I'm sorry, you're Big Brother. Not the other way around. Hate to tell you. I know, pops in, gives 5 subs, says hi, poops, leaves him. What a go. In the Pirate City, Forrest was drinking a high concentration of fruit locally produced. Suddenly, her spiritual perception was triggered as she looked to the side. To her side had appeared Gehrman. Good afternoon, Mr. Sparrow. Do you want to leave? Okay. I said I would remove... Yeah, Milosh's mod powers are gone. How does it even affect you if it's in the Discord? You're not even in the Discord. I don't even understand. With a whoosh, Forrest stood up with her wine glass and said, "Oh, sorry." Clanton said, "Do you want to leave?" All right," Forrest replied. Over the past few days, she had already made preliminary records of the traits of the city that were different from other places. Without saying a word, Klein gestured at the items on the desk with his chin, indicating for Miss Magician to quickly pack up. I can't even... Forrest didn't hesitate at all as she hurriedly organized her drafts as though she heard an instruction. As he stood there, he watched the other party busy themselves. How was the progress going with the horror story? He asked. Soon. Forrest trembled. How much longer? A week? No, 5 days. 5 tops. Klein didn't say anything else. After Forrest packed up her drafts, fountain pen, half a bottle of wine, and memorabilia, he grabbed her shoulder. Countless indescribable figures flashed past as Forrest felt a little more relaxed. She even attempted to record this traveling. Before long, she returned to Backland and returned to the alley where she had disappeared. She heard Gehrman say, "Rest for a few days before setting off. Take note of any replies. Also, ask your teacher again if there's any information regarding Alista Tudor, mainly the various ruins." Alright, Forrest replied. After separating from Gehrman, she returned home and saw Gio. Was it effective? Gio said. Pretty good. I went to a free city belonging to pirates this time. Grabbing my coffee beans and cigarettes. Why? Was it lacking there? Gio asked. For the sake of my new book. Remember to make me coffee. Bro, she's such a needy roommate. She's like, make me coffee, get me my cigarettes. Bro, I don't want to talk to my fucking assistant this way. In another spot in East Borough, in a rented apartment with a similar layout, a Zara tool had already arrived in Backland. It was unknown when Amon would be baited. Medici's true intentions were unknown, and Klein was planning to prevent George III from becoming Black Emperor. On one hand, Klein was trying his best to digest his potion, and on the other, he was making various preparations. At this moment, he opened up a piece of paper and wrote, Mr. Azek, I've recently learned quite a bit of ancient history. I believe you would be interested. I'll be one step closer to defeating you, Romero. Otherwise, you wouldn't have chosen to be a history teacher. This history involves some concealed secrets, so it's not convenient to describe them in a letter. When you wake up, I will share them in person. Also, I created a charm called Yesterday Once More. Once used, you will find your past self through a historical void and borrow power from him. This is not something worth paying attention to. What's important is that you can retrieve your memories from your past self. There's no need to use decades to awaken them. I believe you will like it. Oh, that's so cute. I've attached 2 in this letter. If you wake up, please try them. I'm currently in an environment filled with undercurrents. If you come over, please be careful. God damn. Wait, Romero, what did you do? Oh, no. Oh, and. I think they're just reacting to and. Oh, I see. Just reacting to and. That is so hard, though. Romero's like, listen to me. I don't need to prove myself to you. But fuck it, since you're rage baiting me! On the matters of George III advancing to Black Emperor, I will try to do something, but the chances of success are slim. Finally, I wish you well, and I wish you wake up soon. Your eternal student, Klein Moretti. Following that, Klein folded the letter into an envelope and blew into Azek's whistle. The huge skeleton messenger immediately emerged from the ground and received the letter. Klein nodded and watched his messenger disintegrate. After doing all this, he used 2 fingers to pull out Will Oppin's crane from his wallet and wrote, I have something to ask you. This is true, Ramiro. This is true. Ramiro can give mod. He placed the paper crane under his pillow and entered a deep sleep. In the depths of the sharp tower, Klein once again met Will Oppin. Do you guys know what's happening? Do you guys know what's happening? Who is back, baby? Willie's back. Klein once again met Will Oppin sitting in a black baby pram. Without waiting for the other party to speak, he directly asked, do you know who can provide the method to accommodate the uniqueness? What kind of price it would take? If the price is too high, then forget it, Klein added inwardly. You want me to help accommodate the die of probability? Will Oppin asked. Regardless of whether it's successful or not, we should try our best. It's useless! It's too late! I've already rebooted, and I would need at least 22 years growing before I can accommodate the uniqueness. Why didn't you say so earlier? I'm so unlucky. It must have been that silly snake Ouroboros who took all of my luck. It's my destiny to defeat Ramiro one day. Ramiro's your Amon. You gotta be able to legally drink in the US. Yeah, exactly. After listening to Will's tearful complaints, Klein was at a loss on how to act. He then said, "Even if I said it earlier, it's useless. When I met you, you already rebooted." "No, I was still Will Oppin at that time. I didn't have Saris as my last name. I had rebooted for a long time back then. Although I was still quite a way from becoming an adult, as long as I was willing to carry a risk, it wasn't impossible to accommodate it. With the luck I've accumulated, that risk can be resolved. But the difference now is too great. There's no way to make it up." "Perhaps you can find an angel of the Marauder pathway to steal some time from you, letting you grow up faster." It's useless. It's impossible for them to accurately steal my childhood and teenage years. It's only a matter of living time. It won't let me grow. It would only reduce the age I can live to. When the time comes, Will Oppin Saris will die prematurely, having been born June 1350 and dying October 1350 at a ripe old age of 4 months. But I've seen cases of rapidly aging due to the theft of time. Klein recalled what he'd seen in Amon's mausoleum. "No, that is just a manifestation of it being symbolized. If it is used on me, it will be a baby that starts to grow wrinkles while his hair turns white. To truly, accurately steal the childhood and teenage years, it has to be Amon in his true body." At this moment, the baby wrapped in silver silk, and Klein fell silent. If he were to get Amon, the years that were possibly robbed for him wouldn't just be limited to teenage years. Then there's no need to consider it, but I still want to know where I can find a way to accommodate the uniqueness. If I have a chance to get it, I can't miss it. Who knows when it might come in handy in the future. "There's no need to ask others. I've already gotten it long ago, but I can't do it. Otherwise, do you think that me being the president of the Life School of Thought was for nothing?" Why can't you do it? Oh, finally. Okay. Finally, we get ways how to accommodate the uniqueness. Okay. "There are 3 ways to accommodate the uniqueness. One is to naturally be born with it, which is equivalent to a uniqueness coming to life and imbuing human nature into it." Good God, my voice is getting fucked talking like this. I love how I say this as if I don't have a choice, but I'm doing this to myself. "The other is to make the uniqueness come to life to a certain extent before forcibly putting it into one's body. By relying on the power of the Creator to suppress it, it will take time to slowly wear it down before one gets used to it and achieves balance. The third is to concoct the uniqueness into an incomplete potion and drink it with a simplified apotheosis ritual. There's no need to mention the first method. That is why the brothers are enviable. The second is impossible after ASG died. The third is the only viable option at the moment. But for the sequence 1 of the fate pathway, it depends on the machination of fate." Oh, was link click a bad thing? Bro, link click is awesome. What? What do you mean? The first point was mentioning... actually, let me just add that to my notes really quickly. I love link click. I don't know if anyone has seen it, but I cannot recommend Odd Taxi enough. A friend and I watched that in high school. Holy shit, that was so... High school, maybe uni, I can't remember. Oh my god, it was so good. I loved Odd Taxi, but I've never seen people talk about it. I only listen to the opening or the ending. I think it's the ending, Kami, because I know that song too and I listen to it occasionally too. It's so good. the twist at the ending was perfect. The first point was mentioned in Roselle's diary, mentioned by Mr. Dorr. The second point means that after ASG wielded so many authorities, he was at least half a level higher than the present deities, or even a full one? The creator's level? What do you mean by only by depending on the machination of fate? What has this got to do with me saying earlier that I can help you accommodate the uniqueness? The apotheosis ritual for the fate pathway may be the simplest, or the most difficult. As long as we find the correct opportunity in the torrent of fate, we can directly summon the potion and attempt to advance. But the problem lies in the fact that the exact opportunity cannot be defined or prophesized. There's no way to lock onto it. I can only eliminate certain inferences and patiently search as I experience life. I've already rebooted countless times and spent ages, but I have still not encountered it. Wait, Samuel, you're back. How's it going, man? Is it the opening? Fuck, you are right. It is the opening. Oh my god, you are right. It is the opening. Yeah. Oh god, it's so good. That sounds simple, but in fact one can only rely on fate? When I said I would help you accommodate the uniqueness, why did you vaguely grasp the opportunity? What does it mean by the machinations of fate? Like, we just don't even know what it means. Like, basically, like, there's just a time for it, and, like, you'll just know it when it happens, basically. And if you're ready and you can do it in the moment, you're chilling, and if you can't, you're fucked. I was, but I got stun locked. Just wait till it happens, basically? Okay, yeah. He will know when it's time? Okay, exactly, yeah. Although I didn't really find it, I did sense it to a degree. Is that so? Back then, when Will came into contact with me, other than hoping to receive the help of the yesterday once more, was it also pushed by luck? What a charlatan. Then there's no other way? You can give me a few more of those charms. Okay. You have to give me a few paper cranes. Oh, this can be yeah, but like the visionary one is easier. It's like, hey, you need the flows of time to adjust to go according to what you wrote. Bro, just write about tomorrow. Why is Adam writing about 2,000 years in the future? Just say tomorrow America starts a fucking war with China, and then bang, when Donald Trump does that, there's like a 40% chance it happens anyway. Boom, he can become a god. Silly bitch. In the rental apartment, after waking up from his dream, Klein got out of bed and walked to the room outside. He took out pen and paper and began to write to Leonard. I obtained ardor, I promise. If China and the US go to war, the destiny of the whole planet is on stake. But one side has the power to destroy the entire world, and the other side makes everything for the entire world. It's like you're cooked. No matter who wins, you're so cooked. I obtained charms. Klein walked out of the bedroom and took out a pen and paper and began writing to Leonard. I obtained charms that originate from a high sequence beyonder of the seer pathway. It allows one to borrow powers from their former self. Although he didn't mention that it might be something that the poet needed, he was just describing it. But our world don't have entities that can deviate that trend, that's the difference. How do you know this? What if there's a god, Ardor? God, are you an atheist? See, dude, I don't know how Username ever got by without the fucking membership, bro. I feel like the only thing Username uses in chat is the unk emoji. What was he doing without it? I am an atheist. I figured, man. I'm like, I used to say I'm agnostic. I don't think I am anymore. But think William. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That has wow. Luvian's definitely gonna clip that. After folding the letter, he took out a gold coin and blew into the adventurer's harmonica. Raynette Tyneker walked out. Who to deal with this time? It's unconfirmed yet. I'm gonna attempt at foiling George III's plans. I might need your help at critical moments. That sounds extremely risky. Requires higher payments. More charms? Klein asked. 3. No problem, but it'll take a week or 2. Firstly, he had recently separated many worms of time and had created many yesterday once more charms. It made him feel like he was nearing his limits and needed some rest. Second, he felt that he needed another one, a week or 2 before he could digest his potion and attempt to advance to Scholar of Yore once Miss Magician's book was published. When the time came, he would have a simpler method. Dude, in a week or 2, we're gonna be a fucking sequence 3? Although, in fairness, Klein doesn't have any of the stuff for it yet. Klein is literally just going on a hope and a prayer. He's like, listen, we'll get it. Okay, we'll get it. We'll be good. This is true, Sound. This is true. I used to be an agnostic atheist. As of a while back, it's been a little while, I believe in God. I don't believe in any religion, I don't think. Fuck all that shit. Shit's super depressing as far as I'm concerned. But I believe in God. Raynette Tyneker's head began to bob, indicating that it was no problem. Klein then pointed to the letter and the coin and said, "Send it to the mailbox at 7 Pinster Street." One of the heads of Raynette Tyneker tilted up as it sucked up the letter, the gold coin, and the yesterday once more charm. As he watched Miss Messenger enter the void and vanish, Klein pondered for nearly a minute before he began to set up a sacrificial and bestowment ritual. Since the Bizarro Sorcerer Potion formula was almost... Since the Bizarro Sorcerer Potion was nearly completely digested... No, Luvian, I don't say that, okay? And anyone who says, like, oh, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, it means they're like, oh, I believe in horoscopes, and, like, where were you born? And, like, oh, you're on Libra. Like, all that shit's cancerous. Get it the fuck away from me. So I don't ever say I'm spiritual. That shit is cancerous. There was no doubt that Klein had to prepare the ingredients of Scholar of Yore. Among them... the demonic wolf of Fog's transformed heart and white frost crystal could be obtained from the goddess. And with the demonic wolf's transformed heart, he could go to the spirit world to bait a hound of Fulgrim. After a series of tasks, he set up an altar and took 2 steps back. It's still considered clean. In addition to the Wall of Spirituality seal, it satisfies the requirements of a ritual. I haven't made any contributions recently. What do I ask for a bestowment? Yeah. I get it, Arter. I get your train of thought there. I used to think the same way for a long time. Could it be that I'm telling the goddess that I plan to take a loan of credit and pay in installments? That's sacrilegious. I'll try to sacrifice something of value. He really wanted to pack up the items he couldn't sell for the time being, such as the biological poison bottle, interrogator beyond her characteristic, lunatic beyond her characteristic, blatherer's aura, thousand-faced hunter blood, 6-winged gargoyle's eyeball, spirit plunderer powder, and other items, and sacrifice them to the goddess. But he felt it would make the goddess seem like a rag and bone man, so he gave up on the idea. It has to be of roughly the same value. I can't use Grozel's travel. That's very valuable. The Sea God Scepter? No, that's even more important. It's my most powerful sealed artifact, and helps me and involves the believers of the Sea God. I'm in Rambus's characteristic? No, I already promised that to Miss Justice. After some thought, he realized he didn't have many choices. One was the Life's Cane, the Flaring Sun Charm, the Fate Siphon Charm, the Yesterday Once More Charms, and Spirit Control Bullets. The goddess doesn't want bullets. She don't give a fuck about your charms. The Flaring Sun Charm and the Life's Cane are the only two things that he could give up. I feel like he's almost done with the Bizarro Sorcerer digesting anyway. Give up the cane. That shit's useless and it's just fucking annoying. They're all disposable items. Even if they're combined, their value wouldn't compare to the main ingredient of a Sequence 3 potion. Besides, once my ability to transfer wounds approves, I can take a portion of the Life's Cane effects. Klein finally made a decision. The Life's Cane. Yeah, get rid of it! Fuck it! That shit's useless! I don't know why I hate this cane so much. I don't know what it did to me, but I don't like it. I'm not gonna hold on to some unfalsifiable belief. Well, Sound, what you're saying is like tautologically true. Because faith is by definition believing in something with no evidence, right? Or a reason. That's like by definition what faith is. What you're saying is like tautologically doesn't work. After bringing the cane back to the real world, Klein began the ritual and said, I sacrifice this cane filled with life to you. I am willing to receive your blessings. He didn't mention the demonic wolf of fog's transformed heart and the white crystal. It was equivalent to making an equivalent exchange, not offering sacrificial items and praying for a bestowment. There was no need to be too meticulous, but this was a case of showing his attitude at a fundamental level. After Klein finished his sentence, 2 out of the 3 candles swelled up and intertwined, forming an illusory door. The door opened and swept up the Life's Cane, allowing it to disappear into the cosmos. Immediately following that, there was a flash of 2 items tearing through the barrier and landing on the altar. One was a strange heart, nice, and the other was a crystalline frost that emitted cold air. Klein bowed his head and thanked the goddess. When he raised his head again, the dark and mysterious door had closed and faded away. I got the demonic wolf's transformed heart and a white frost crystal. Klein relaxed. Oh my god, we're becoming a sequel. Dude, is the progression speeding up like crazily? Like, I feel like we used to go like 200-300 chapters between changing sequences, and it's like 200 chapters or something? I think 950 or so Klein became a demigod. If I had known that it would go so smoothly, I wouldn't have used my Life's Cane. You junk pile might have been enough. Although I didn't need to sacrifice anything, and the goddess would have bestowed them to me, the present situation indicates she is personally supporting me becoming a scholar of yore. That's crazy. She's a god so strong, she's influencing everything, and she's like, yeah, I've chosen you to become a scholar of yore. Oh, that's so goated. This way, if I receive too many bestowments, who knows what price I'll pay in the future. From the looks of it, before advancing to Angel, the goddess will still shower her blessings on me. Klein then began thinking on how to deal with the Hounds of Fulgrim and the so-called Sephira Castle Keepers. A magician never performs unprepared. Jefferson, how's it going, man? 945, yeah, like we're not... it might even be sub 200 by the time Klein becomes Scholar of Yore. Less than 200 chapters to go from sequence 4 to 3. feel like it took like 300 chapters to go from like 7 to 6 or something, and that was like the most fucking underwhelming upgrade to me. Like, 0 to 9 was, or sorry, nothing to 9 was great. 9 to 8 was great. 8 to 7 was fantastic. 7 to 6 was eh. 6 to 5 was amazing. 5 to 4 was amazing. So, the only one that's kind of been a letdown for me was Faceless. Like a year and like 2 months sound or something. Like a year and 2 or 3 months, like 14, 15 months. South of the bridge, Rose Street, Leonard changed into his police uniform and wore a red glove and led his team members into the Cathedral of the Evernight, or of the Earth Mother. The epaulets he was wearing responded to a high-ranking inspector, but in fact, with his status as a captain of the Red Gloves, he should be equivalent to a superintendent or even a chief superintendent. But such officers wouldn't be involved themselves in such low-level missions. Wearing those epaulets would easily arouse suspicion. Pushkar, thank you, man! Glad you like it. I think this looks pretty cool. I think we'll keep this for a little bit. Like, this shit looks fucking cool as fuck. Amon's right here. Adam. Nope. Adam. So, sorry. Because it's all fucking inverted, so like my brain can't compute that. After passing through the door, Leonard scanned the area and realized it was empty. There were only 2 figures. One was a handsome man dressed in priest's robe who had black hair and red eyes, Emlyn White. Leonard nodded as he walked to the bishop. He then coughed twice and looked at the giant. I'm an inspector of the Backland Police Department. We would like to invite you back to assist in our investigations. What is the matter? Father Utrovsky asked. Nearby residents have reported your abnormal behavior, saying it's possible you're a spy for Facehack or Faina Potter. At this time, Leonard was prepared to pull the bishop into a dream at any moment if he resisted. With the team's distribution, as long as they didn't directly encounter a demigod, or even a blessed, even if they were to face a blessed in charge of a holy artifact, they would have a good chance of winning. Furthermore, before Leonard set off, he had applied for a Grade 1 sealed artifact. Father Utrovsky fell silent and looked at Emlyn, standing by the candle stand. Okay, he nodded. So cooperative. I thought there'd be a battle. Thank you for your cooperation, Leonard smiled. If there really was a battle that ended up harming a blessed of the Earth Mother, Leonard suspected that the tensions would rise even more. Through the ancient history and Grisel's travel and the various secrets he learned from the Tarot Club, he knew that the relationship between the Earth Mother and the Evernight were like dried timber and could be ignited with a tiny spark. This war would go from a localized problem to a problem that ignited the globe. What do you think of my goat, Ethel Abraham? I just think, bro, in an era where let's say Adam no one knew about, but Amon was like known, was like a known entity at least, for them to say Bethel Abraham was the one who was most likely to become a god is crazy. Like, that motherfucker must have been nightmarishly strong. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand just that having the ability of, like, his pathway in particular would make him an unbelievably annoying, like, fucking cockroach opponent. Because you go to kill him and he'll just teleport and he keep teleporting everywhere. Just fucking irritating the fuck out of everyone. But, all the same, that is cool. I'm watching Big A now, but he wouldn't rage bait me. Yeah, if you ask Atrioc some great questions, I'm sure he will happily rage bait your username. At this moment, the Red Glove members looked at Emlyn, and she said, "Cap, there's another priest. Should we take him down with us? We can shut down the church for the time being." Thunder, how's it going, man? How you doing? After a few seconds, he deliberated. Leonard finally said, if the case involves Faina Potter, he would be considered a suspect. Let's invite him back as well. Emlyn was stunned. In the East Borough, in a 2-bedroom rental apartment, Forrest was rubbing the dark circles under her eyes. Done writing? Gio asked. It's only been a day and a half. Oh. But I've written the first volume. I can give it to the editor of the publisher if it's serialized. There's no need to finish it now. That's a good idea. It'll reduce your stress. I hope so, Forrest replied. Bro, by the time this gets published, Klein is fully digested sequence 4. In another rental apartment a few streets away, after a series of tasks, Klein, who had come up with a plan and made his preparations, put on creeping hunger and entered the spirit world. Looking up, he saw the 7 pure lights, comprising of 7 different colors. He released the aura of his marionettes and took out a box, allowing the aura of the demonic wolf of hearts, transformed heart, to emanate from it. He then pulled Inuni, while Inuni pulled Quanos, rapidly teleporting deep into the spirit world. Along the way, all kinds of strange spirits passed by them like oil paintings. After a while, Klein's premonition for danger rapidly stirred, as a scene appeared in his mind: red, black, white, blue, and other colors saturated, overlapping as a slender figure appeared. Klein is gonna get the final ingredient right now? Oh, It sounds like a hound. Its entire body was covered in black short fur, and its eye sockets were 2 balls of dark red burning flames. The ends of its mouth extended to the back of its head. Clearly, it existed in its corporeal form, but it gave off an illusory feeling. A hound of Fulgrim. Klein turned around to face it, and released his 2 marionettes, allowing them to wander. In the blink of an eye, the hound of Fulgrim appeared. The 2 dark red flames, which weren't too deformed, were terrifying. Right on the heels of that, its figure became more and more illusory. It's on top chat username. It instantly disappeared as though it was a projection of history. It ran away? Klein became wary of a surprise attack. More than 10 seconds later, 2 figures phased into existence, covered in black fur and their eyes burning. But there was only 1 dark red flame in the left eye socket of each of these monsters. The remaining fireball was in their paw. They're like, oh yeah. Without waiting for Klein to react, the 2 hounds of Fulgrim lay down in the void of the spirit world and wagged their tails. Klein began wondering if he was dreaming. What the fuck? What? Oh my god! Ramiro! Oh my god, it's finally here. Hopefully I get to know something about it now. I finally get to know something about it now. Oh, this fucking name has haunted me for months. I have known this name for months and it has haunted me for so long. Only after the 2 burning, dark red fireballs floated above from the Hounds of Fulgrim and landed in front of him did Klein snap back to his senses. Why did they harm themselves to come up with a pair of eyes for me? These eyeballs seem like they have a thick and sticky blood covering them. If this is a trap, I would have already stepped into it. I think I fell into a daze. This is a fatal mistake for a Bizarro sorcerer. But no matter who it is, it's inevitable that they will have similar reactions when encountering something like this. The first enemy who they had meticulously planned to kneel with ended up kneeling down and wagging their tails. This is so similar to Eridas. So these hounds can can sense like a similar thing that Eridus can. Like they can sense that he's like the great existence above the spirit world or whatever. As this thought flashed through his mind, he looked at the two dogs, prostrating themselves in the void and wagging their tail. He stretched out his left hand and grabbed the two dark red flames and a large amount of thick red blood. The moment he came into contact with these things, he heard familiar ravings and roars. Sometimes shrill, sometimes dull, sometimes maniacal, seductive, crazy, sometimes ethereal. Immediately following that, an illusory grayish-white fog appeared in front of Klein. Wait! Is Sephira Castle the name of the Grey Fog? The fog spread in all directions. Above them, there was a towering, majestic palace that looked like a god's residence. This was a familiar scene, because every time he entered the Grey Fog, he would pass through it. In the beginning, it was difficult for him to notice his surroundings as he took 4 steps counterclockwise, but as he got used to it, and with the advancement of his sequence, he was easily able to take the opportunity to observe. At that moment, Klein had chanted the name of the celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessing, or taken 4 steps counterclockwise. This made him wary. He saw a few figures appear in the grey fog. They overlapped with the grey fog at times, while separating at others. They were none other than the Hounds of Fulgrim, with their eyes burning with dark red flames and their bodies covered in short black fur. Are the Hounds trying to enter the castle? The 2 Hounds of Fulgrim that had lost 1 eye each returned to their companion's side and blended into the dark spots of the grey fog. The entire phenomenon vanished. In the depths of the spirit world, Klein realized there were no longer any Hounds of Fulgrim around him, only his marionettes. They were just happy to see their master because they were ready to go back home? Klein didn't even tell them like what he needed from them. He just literally went like, he just showed up and they were like, "Oh, you need our eyes." Yes, of course. How did they even know that? Klein lowered his head and looked at the eyeballs and blood in his hands. The Hounds of the Fulgrim are known as Sephira Castle Keepers. I think the Sephira Castle is the name of the Grey Fog. They live in the historical void. I saw them active within the Grey Fog before fusing with the dark spots. Combining with what he saw and heard, Klein came to a bold conclusion. Perhaps Sephira Castle is referring to the Grey Fog. It's referring to that strange door of light. No, wait. Perhaps Sephira Castle is referring to the mysterious space above the Grey Fog. It's referring to that strange door of light. As for the Grey Fog, it's a symbolic object formed by all the history in the spirit world. There are void gaps present in it. Every time I enter the Grey Fog, I leave a certain trace there, making the Hounds of Fulgrim no longer feel unfamiliar with me. You would have known if you read ingredient names instead of skipping like a bum. Why can't you just be happy for me, Kami? Why are you like this? Kami's the sort of guy, like, you get a new car and he's like, "Oh, actually, the transmission on these models is not great. I mean, good for you, man. Good for you. But after 10,000 miles, the transmission on these tends to go out pretty quickly. Like, oh, fucking kill yourself, dude. Oh my god. In a video game. As he thought of this, he inexplicably felt a sense of absurdity at this situation. It felt like the fool above the Grey Fog was reaching out his hand to fleece someone. Sephira Castle. Although this development makes me even more afraid, in any case, I'll still have some understanding of the owner of the Grey Fog and that mysterious space. The unknown is the most terrifying thing. Pushcard, don't fucking... Why are you gonna ignite username even more? After standing in the depths of the spirit world for a moment, Klein exhaled and summoned his marionettes back. He planned on waiting for his potion to be digested before attempting to seek out the relevant knowledge of the Sephira Castle from Eridas and other places. When the time came, if anything were to happen, he could use his advancement to fight it. Hell yeah. In the East Borough, in a 2-bedroom rental... Romero, there is no almost. You either spoil or you don't spoil. I didn't. With dark circles under her eyes, Forrest returned and retrieved today's newspaper. How was it? Gio asked. Not bad. The editor I know is satisfied with my new book's topic and writing style. He arranged for its serialization as soon as possible. You might not be... wait, what are you talking about, Mezzo? What? I don't think so. It's 11:20 to 11:27. What do you mean? You might not be aware, but the horror stories of Backlands Hospital have been very popular recently. A best-selling author has gained inspiration from it and has begun serializing similar stories. I'm not the first to do so. Monday night, Pushkar, yeah. Good thing is Wednesday I'm home. I'm not working Wednesday. Sam, no. Oh, Samuel, I didn't refresh your stream. Just YouTube making a mistake, not me, of course. I would never do that. I'm home Wednesday, so we can do like a long day stream. Try to make some headway into volume 6. This is a good thing, Gio thought. This meant that Fours, who had written the horror stories of Backlands Hospital, wouldn't attract too much attention. I know, Force threw the newspaper aside. Doing a swindler. Soon, she found a reply from her teacher. She began reading. Benjamin Abraham is from Intes. He lived in Roselle's era. Apart from the mysticism knowledge and a small amount of inheritance, he didn't leave much of value behind. So long stream on Tuesday morning? No, Pushkar. Long stream for you would be like Wednesday night. Like, yeah. Or I guess we can do one Tuesday night, a longer stream too, because I don't have work Wednesday morning, I guess. We can do that too. I'll really try to make some headway into this. You guys said it's like 150, 160 chapters. So, I mean... That's all good. Later on, everything was destroyed by the Aurora Order, and I can't give you the information. Ramiro! What did you do? Give me the information, damn it! God, you're fucking it up for Klein. Mr. Gehrman is about to be disappointed. She then began writing a reply asking if her teacher knew of the secret ruins of Alista Tudor. 116? Wow. Even shorter than I thought. Klein went above the grey fog and listened to Miss Magician's prayers. The trail of clues for Benjamin Abraham has come to an end. All the fault of those lunatics from the Aurora Order. Mezzo, yes, I do have work. Yes, thank you. I guess. God. Fucking have work now. I'm a fucking productive member of society. Fuck this. God, fuck this place. At the same time, he realized of the serialization of the horror stories. After returning to the real world, just as he was about to head out, he saw Miss Messenger enter. Who is it? Klein asked. A seduced idiot. Who the hell is that? The mastermind behind those matters is George III. His plan is to become the Black Emperor. Are you interested in stopping this matter? Trissy. A seduced idiot. Oh, Edisac, I see. Pray to the true creator to give him a private concert. Trissy, this demoness dares to write such a letter? Isn't she afraid of being caught? Oh, Miss Messenger said that the messenger was a seduced idiot. Or sorry, that the sender was a seduced idiot. Trissy seduced a man and got him to help her summon the messenger while she hid far away. Oh, she is persistent. Isn't she afraid she'll die? Klein began to wonder how Trissy managed to guess that George III wanted to become Black Emperor. Yo, man! Yes, you arrived right at the end, man. Without sufficient mysticism knowledge and without knowing the Black Emperor's apotheosis ritual or the history, even a demigod would find it hard to guess. Could it be that Trissy has other helpers? Or she got power from the primordial demoness? After a second, Klein wrote, I'm interested, but I don't know what you want to do. In the Backland Bridge area, a man in his 30s looked in horror at a headless woman as a four-headed demoness appeared in front of him and dropped a letter. Are all the messengers in this world so terrifying? Only about 5 minutes after Raynette left did the man catch his breath and open the letter. During this process, his gaze gradually burned because it meant that he could see that beautiful woman again. Jesus Christ. Good, Pushkar. I have a final interview tomorrow. And then, yeah, which is kind of cooked, though, because I have another interview during my work time. So I gotta figure out what to do for that. In the blink of an eye, the mirror represented a room that was completely different from the present environment. In it was a young girl, none other than Demoness Trissy. How peak it was? Jesus, MX. Although that seems to be like a consistent thing that many people have said. The man who finished the ritual whispered, the reply says he's interested. I'll send you a letter. I'll send you a letter. Forward it to Gehrman. You absolutely cannot read its contents. After obtaining the man's unhesitant promise, Trissy reached out her right hand and swiped at the mirror, causing the light to disappear. Sam, I was just for a different position. Just because you found a job doesn't mean it stops you from looking for a better job. Especially in this economy. Trissy then began writing, the secret mausoleums needed for George III's ritual should be from at least a Tudor. There is an existence who understands it well. It might be able to help us successfully infiltrate and cause some damage. The only person that I know that would understand it really well would be Mr. Door. I have a way to contact that existence, but we have to wait until the next blood moon. What you need to provide me is some blood, hair, flesh, or bones from a descendant of the Abraham family. Trissy. Mr. Door. Klein's gonna speak to Mr. Door! Goated and woated. That's amazing. Oh, love that. Oh, and hopefully Klein becomes now that the thing has been published, hopefully client can become scholar of your next next stream. All right, 10:35 for next stream. Yes, wrong. So we'll go to 10:35. Ah. All right, guys, it's 11 o'clock. I think I'm gonna call it. Does he know what Mr. Door looks like? Yes, I think I do, Pushkar. Vaguely, not like super specifically, but vaguely. All right, guys, I think we'll end stream there. Thank you so much, everyone, for popping by. Have a great rest of your day or nights. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.